Hello, my kings and queens. How you doing today? I trust you're all doing very well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Well, as you can see, I'm exceptionally happy today because the story I'm about to share with you, trust me, it's going to change your life. It's going to put a smile on your face today. Yes, I am happy. I can't wait to share the story with you. And if you have been praying sincerely, if you have been praying for something for a very long time, and you have prayed and prayed and prayed, and you have fasted and you've asked God, and it feels like God is on holiday, like God has gone to the Bahamas or to Dubai to chill, trust me, this story is going to change your life. It's going to make you have a different perception about God. Perhaps God is preparing for you for something bigger or greater than what you are even asking him to do. Well, if you are new here, kindly subscribe to support this channel. And if you are an old subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate you. Now let's go into the story. Let's start the story. A few weeks ago, I was so honored and so privileged to have attended a program by African countries or participants from other African countries. Now, all participants were supposed to report on the 4th of July. I think that was a Saturday or so. So, on the set date, all participants arrived except the participants from Nigeria. Now, the moderator of the program was worried as to why the participants from Nigeria was not present. He later told us that he sent this lady an email to ask why she was not at the program at the set date. But we were later told that this lady replied and said that she would definitely honor her invitation. So she didn't come on Saturday, she didn't come on Sunday, but she reported on Monday. Mind you, the reason for which we were asked to report on Saturday was because they wanted us to get to know each other, what we like, what we do not like. When she eventually reported on Monday, the moderator of the program was furious. He reprimanded her and talked. He said, why are you not reporting? You were supposed to be here on Saturday and you are now here on Monday. That is not what the rules and regulations said. You're supposed to be here. All this while that the moderator was talking, the lady didn't utter a word. She kept mute till the moderator was done. She was asked to write a report so that it could be put on their file as to why she did not report on Saturday. Now she went to write her report and then it was filed. Now fast forward, at the end of the program lasted for 1 week. At the end of the program, we're asked to share our experiences. We're asked to share our experiences on what we have learned from the program, what we are taking home, what we'll do differently when we go back to our respective countries. So one after the other, each participant came to share their experiences. And guys, 4 of the experience really caught my attention and they were so inspirational. So I'll be sharing all 4 with you. This is just one of them. So don't forget to watch this space or this channel because I'll be sharing all 4 with you. And they are all very inspirational and they'll all change your life in a way and encourage you. Okay, now let's go on to the story. So like I said, each person or each participant came to share their experiences. So the participant from Nigeria came to share her experience, and that is how we got to know why she was actually late for the program. Now, according to her, on the day that we were all supposed to report, which was a Saturday, she woke up early because if you live in Lagos, you know that there is plenty traffic in Lagos. The traffic in Lagos is hectic, is serious. So she woke up very early, dressed up, and her father dropped her by the main road in order to pick a vehicle to go to the airport, board a flight, and come for the program. Now, according to her, when she got to the main road, that was around 4:30 a.m. She waited and waited and waited, and she was not getting a vehicle to transport her to the airport. So she waited for about 1 hour, and then she realized that she was running late and she was even afraid of missing her flight. So she didn't know what to do, and she began to beg private vehicles that were going her direction to at least give her a lift or help her to get to a point at least so that she could continue her journey. Anytime she made them an attempt to stop a moving vehicle, they wouldn't just stop. Now, while she was waiting for the vehicle, or while she was waiting for a vehicle, there was this school girl who also came. So she said this school girl, who probably would be in her teens, probably 13 or 14, came to stand by her, and she even engaged this girl in a conversation. She asked her the name of her school. While she engaged this girl in a conversation, she continued to stop random vehicles or vehicles that were passing by to at least give her a lift. Fortunately, a vehicle stopped, and then when she looked into the car was already full. But they agreed that they were going to give just one of them a lift, or carry just one of them. And then they came to a conclusion that since the girl was going to school, it was just appropriate that they carry her to school, or they carry her or give her a lift because she was running late. She literally begged these people to at least allow her to carry the girl on her lap because she was going to the airport and she might miss a flight. They said no. They were afraid the police will arrest them because they had already taken more passengers that they were supposed to pick or take in the vehicle. She went on to beg. In fact, at this point, she said she was desperate, so she begged and begged and begged. Well, unfortunately, they didn't allow her to sit in the car. They took the girl, or they picked the girl, and then went away. At this point, she realized that if she doesn't do anything about her means of transportation, she was going to eventually miss her flight. So she realized that she needed to do something. So she quickly hopped onto a moving Okada. Well, if you don't know what Okada is basically a motorbike. So she hopped onto the motorbike and they left. But then she realized that though there's traffic on the road, on this particular day, just about 10 minutes into their journey, the traffic was so intense. It was so intense than usual. At this particular time, her heart was beating faster because she was like, oh my god, I'm going to miss my flight. So she told them. So at this point, she told the Okada driver that she was going to the airport and then he needed to do anything in order to transport her to the airport, otherwise she was going to miss her flight. So the Okada driver was so understanding. He understood the assignment, so he meandered through the vehicles and then went. She said just after 10 minutes into their journey, she saw that the vehicle that she was supposed to be in, the vehicle that carried the girl, was mashed by a trailer. And when she got to the scene, she saw the lifeless body of the little girl that she was speaking to a few minutes ago. Every occupant of the vehicle was dead. She said at that particular point, she told the Okada driver to stop. She froze, she literally froze. So she got down. She even forgot that she was going to the airport and she might miss her flight. So she said she stopped and then just looked at the girl for some time and then come and see tears. She said she cried and cried and cried. At this point, she didn't know whether to continue her journey or to go back home. So she called her dad and told her dad what had just happened, and her dad asked her to come back home. If you're an African, they'll tell you that is a bad omen. You don't have to continue your journey. So she went back home. Guys, don't forget that a few minutes ago, this girl was literally begging the driver to allow her join his car. Literally begging. If God had not saved her, should have been one of the people to be on that vehicle and should have been dead. So sometimes, just like every situation, there are times that you pray and pray and pray and pray and pray and say, oh God, why are you not listening to my prayer? Oh God, are you going to allow me to miss my flight? I'm sure that this girl in her head will be saying, so God, are you going to allow me miss my flight? Why are you not answering my prayers? Why won't you allow this driver to pick me? There are situations where we all do this, we all pray, and then we are not seeing any sign. And then when we feel that we are just this close to our success, there's something comes and it take that glory away, and we are like, oh God, why? So in as much as other people have died, which is equally sad, God has saved this girl's life. Now that's the first thing that had happened to her, or that's the first miracle that has happened to this girl. Now let's move on. The story didn't end there. So after sharing this story, the moderator was now remorseful. The moderator now felt very sorry for her because he now understood why this girl was literally late for the program. Now, don't forget that I told you that because she came late, she was supposed to write a report, and the report was supposed to be put on their file. Guess what? So 2 weeks ago, she called to tell me that the organizers went through her report and they were really inspired by her story. So they have decided to sign her on for next year's program. Guys, this program in question is highly competitive. Before you get on board, you have to go through series of interviews and whatnot. So for one to get on board, it is a whole story altogether. So for her to end this slot on the silver platter is just a miracle, because according to the organizers, no one participant has attended this program twice. It has never happened. Now, miracle number 2. And guess what again? Miracle number 3. She was not just asked to join the program next year, but she's also assigned to go to African countries to work with them. To work with them on her projects. That is miracle number 3. Guess what? The story still didn't end there. Now, when she went to Nigeria, or when she went back home, she decided to go and give thanks to God at church, and she shared her story. And guess what happened? The local pastor also assigned her on to work with the local church as long as she can, until she's ready to embark on her African trip in order to work on her projects. So guys, you see, like I said earlier, there are times that we see, like I said earlier, there are times that bad things happen to us and we ask God questions like, why? We do it all the time. God, why? Why would you allow me to miss my flight? Why, God? You know how important this program is to me. But if somebody told this girl that God was going to use missing of her flight to take her to the next level, she would have said no. So I just want to encourage somebody today. Today I'm sounding like a pastor. Yeah, sounding like a pastor. I want to encourage someone today that if you are having a bad day, you have prayed for something for so long and it's not coming, just know that God has something much bigger for you. Don't lose hope. Keep your hope so high, and something great might come out. Well, if you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And then don't forget to turn on your notification for more stories. Don't forget, I have 3 other stories to share with you that are equally inspirational. So please watch this page, watch this channel for more stories. Until I see you in the next video, it's bye.